So this week we are talking about how I'm feeling going into the BOC. The first question being, how are you feeling going into the test? And my answer to that is stressed. Like, that's all there is to it. But stressed in like I take all of these practice exams and like try to answer all these questions, and the more I do that, the less I feel prepared. And so I kind of just feel like I'm like drowning, if that makes sense. But I know that that's not completely accurate, and that like I am okay and that I have been well prepared. But like nonetheless, going into this test is stressful, and I'm sure it is that way for everyone, but I also tend to just overthink and ever prepare and be crazy about things. So short answer to that question, stressed. What are you feeling the best knowledge-wise? I don't really know that I'm feeling the best about anything. I feel pretty confident about my anatomy and pretty confident about like emergency care and like response. Other than that, I keep continually feeling like I know nothing, which again, it's not the case, not true, but that's how I feel currently. What are you feeling you still need to prepare for? Everything. I really feel like I'm lacking in my pharmaceutical knowledge, which, like, even though Dr. Hudson did a good job of teaching the class, like, that was in 4 weeks. Like, I learned everything I know about pharmaceuticals in 4 weeks. So, definitely needs to be refreshed before the test. Because it's like, what can you do with blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, I don't even know what those words mean. English, please? So that would be the area that I feel the least adequate in currently. What are some techniques you're using to prepare? So I've been going through all of those tests that you've given me, and then I've taken pictures of all the answers that I got wrong, and I've went back in the book and like looked at those answers and like read why I got it wrong, just because that like reaffirmation teaches me new things, but then also like helps to settle in that answer that I got wrong. I've been using a lot of Quizlets. Like there's like a bunch of Quizlets with so many terms, like all the things you need to know for the BOC. So I've been studying those a lot, and then going through that principles book, and then just reviewing some anatomy, some basic anatomy of like the ankle and things, because those questions where it's like, point out this bone, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know that, and then I get it wrong, and I'm like, what the heck? So I've reviewed specific areas of the body that I'm not like 100% certain on all the time. But that's pretty much what I'm doing to study. Also something that I'm going to do this week is printing out all of the position statements from NATA and reading over those on like emergency care and things like that, just to make sure that I know like processes and they're in my head relatively well, because whether or not like that's a super big portion of my test, it is important in the long run anyway. Another thing, this is off topic, but that I just thought about, was that all of like the ranges I should study, right? Like respiratory ranges, heartbeat ranges, blood pressure ranges, insulin ranges, not insulin, blood sugar ranges, things like those. None of the test questions that I've had preparing for that have been those type of questions, but I had a girl tell me that her test had a lot of those on it, so I'm going to review those, because while I know, like, if I look at a number, I know that it's, like, decent or not decent, like, I don't always recall specific ranges, so I think that will be helpful too. This video is not super long, but I hope that I answered all of your questions and you were able to see kind of where I'm at. Thanks.